व्रजे प्रसीदं नवनीतचोरं गोपाङ्गनानां दुकूलचौरम् अनेकजन्मार्जित पापचौरं चौराग्रगण्यं पुरुषं नमामि। चिनस्य घोरं यमपाशबन्धं विनश्य भीमं भवपाशबन्धं चिनस्य सर्वस्य समस्तबन्धं नैवात्मनो कृत नैवात्मनो भक्त कृतन्तबन्धम्। चिनस्य घोरं यमपाशबन्धं विनश्य भीमं भवपाशबन्धं चिनस्य सर्वं सर्वस्य बन्धं नैवात्मनो भक्त कृतन्तबन्धम्। चौराग्रगण्य पुरुषं नमामि चौराग्रगण्य पुरुषं नमामि। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रजजन रंजन यमुना तेरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रजजन रंजन यमुना तेरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रजजन रंजन यमुना तेरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। There is no Bible. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitya Gaur Haribol, 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 Haribol. Nitya Gaur Haribol, 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 Haribol. कलियुग धर्म हरि नाम संकीर्तन की श्री श्री गौर निताय भगवान की जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद महाराज की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी. So I should give a little introduction. Huh? No, that's a long one, not necessary. Anyway, I did my medical graduation, which is of not any use here. I did it in Venkateswara Medical College, Tirupati. Then after that, I went for my residency programs in the United States. That was way back in 1970s and 80s. I am aged 67 years now, and I joined ISKCON in United States, and then I moved back to Mumbai, Radha Rasbihari Temple, stayed there for about 6 years. Then I moved to Kurukshetra, and I stayed there for about 20 plus years. And then I took permission from Radhanath Swami Maharaj, who is my sannyas guru, and I stayed in Kurukshetra, and then with Maharaj's permission I moved to South India for the reason that I was getting old and I didn't like the cold in North India so much. So I thought I can be active in Telugu preaching areas. So they have designated some area like Nellore district where we have a temple, and also some satellite centers are there. And a farm is also there, 10.5 acres farm, where we are trying to do some gosala, organic farming, like basic facility. The light and the fan will be there. Otherwise, like firewood cooking and no other gadgets like gas stove, refrigerators. We don't have any of these things there. It is about 25 kilometers from Nellore, this land. And it has been going on for nearly 10 years. So you are all welcome to Bhanu Maharaj comes for our Nellore Radha Yatra. He spares time. Regularly, he almost comes to every Nellore Radha Yatra. although we do 4 or 5 other Rath Yatras in the area to encourage us, and what else, like I translated few books on Jagannath, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is not so much, in Telugu devotional literature, and we are doing a midday meal program of the government of India, implementing the midday meal, serving about 25,000 kids in the urban area of Nellore from 1st standard to 10th standard. This is what we are trying to do, and I am very happy to be here. I came when the structure was under construction, and I became connected to your Seshadripuram temple through Anadi Jagannath Das Prabhu, who is very warm and very brilliant and very service-minded. I was impressed with him a lot, how he follows up people and somehow gets his things done. And Anukul Keshav Prabhu is a well-wisher of mine. In ISKCON you have a little extra thing. There are so many temples and so many managers. So I have a little contact with Anukul Keshav Prabhu. Of course, formally, is a little informally. So that's how I happen to come here now and then. Thank you. So today, I'll be deliberating from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 4, the appearance of Narada, and I was asked to read from 28th to the end of this chapter, 33. Verse will be, which verse? Okay, so that is written there. These 2 slokas I will be reading. And then they recite with me these 2 slokas, and then Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Dhrita Vratena hi Maya. Dhrita व्रतेन हि मया छन्दांसि गुरवोऽग्नया छन्दांसि गुरवोऽग्नया मानिता निर्व्यलीकेन मानिता निर्व्यलीकेन गृहीतं चानुशासनम् गृहीतं चानुशासनम् भारत व्यपदेशेन भारत व्यपदेशेन ह्याम्ना यादश्च प्रदर्शिता ह्याम्ना यादश्च प्रदर्शिता दृश्यते यत्र धर्मादि दृश्यते यत्र धर्मादि स्त्री श्रोतादि वीर्यप्युता श्री श्रोता वीर्यप्युता धृतव्रतेन हि मया छन्दांसि गुरवोऽग्नया मानिता निर्व्यलीकेन गृहीतं चानुशासनम् भारत व्यपदेशेन ह्याम्ना यादश्च प्रदर्शिता दृश्यते यत्र धर्मादि श्रीशूद्रादि वीर्यप्युता
धृताव्रतेन हि मया छन्दांसि गुरवोऽग्नया मानिता निर्व्यलीकेन चानुशासनम् भारताव्यापदेशेन अन्यात्तश्च दर्शिता यत्र धर्मादि शूद्रादिभिरपि उत धृतव्रतेन हि मया छन्दांसि गुरवोऽग्नया मानिता निर्व्यलीकेन गृहीतं चानुशासनम् भारताव्यपदेशेन दृश्यते यत्र धर्मादि
Ladies,
धृतव्रतेन हि मया छन्दांसि गुरवोऽग्नया मानिता निर्व्यलीकेन गृहीतं चानुशासनम् भारताव्यपदेशेन दृश्यते यत्र धर्मादि
translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki. Yeah, please keep your cell phones in vibration mode or silent mode or switch off now. So this is Vyasadeva saying, I have, under strict disciplinary vows, unpretentiously worshipped the Vedas, the spiritual master, and the altar of sacrifice. I have also abided by the rulings and have shown the import of disciplic succession through the explanation of Mahabharata, by which even women, Sudras, and others, friends of the twice born, Dvijabandhu, can see the path of religion. Purport. No one can understand the import of the Vedas without having undergone a strict disciplinary vow and disciplic succession. The Vedas, the spiritual masters, and sacrificial fire must be worshipped by the desiring candidate. All these intricacies of Vedic knowledge are systematically presented in the Mahabharata for the understanding of the woman class, the labor class, and the unqualified members of Brahmin, Kshatriya, and Vaishya families. In this age, the Mahabharata is more essential than the original Vedas. I should just read the other slokas and translations. 30. I am feeling incomplete, though I myself am fully equipped with everything required by the Vedas. Undoubtedly, Srila Vyasadev was complete in all the details of Vedic achievements. Purification of the living being submerged in matter is made possible by the prescribed activities in the Vedas, but the ultimate achievement is different. Unless it is attained, the living being, even though fully equipped, cannot be situated in the transcendentally normal stage. Srila Vyasadeva appeared to have lost the clue and therefore felt dissatisfaction. Tatapi batame deyo hyatma chaivatmana vibhu asampanna ivabhati brahma varchasya sattama. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurvunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayan Rupa Kadamayan Dadati Swapadantakam. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Vyasadeva is the literary incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, there is no question of his being lost or not knowing something. Like in the purports of Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada, Arjun was also an eternal associate of the Lord, but in the Mahabharata, when things happened that Arjun has to do his duty as a Kshatriya for the reasons of family, affection, and temporarily many other things. He did not want to fight. So Prabhupada says that Arjuna was put in that condition for the reason that the Bhagavad Gita, the conversation between Krishna and Arjuna can take place. And it is part of Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita. And as we are read here in the purport of Srila Prabhupada, Mahabharata is more important than Vedas in this age. So the gist of the Vedic knowledge, the essence of Vedic knowledge, through the epic of Mahabharata, and it is included, Bhagavad Gita is included in Mahabharata. So everything that is necessary for the fallen people at this age of Kali, like directly you get to hear, you get to see how and what Krishna did, and how even the demigods, they became subservient to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and how so many things are clarified. How people sometimes debate. Krishna has come from the Vishnu. There's in the TVs, and generally people think there are 10 incarnations of the Lord, and they all come from Vishnu and like that. But in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna was there, and in the 11th chapter, he showed his universal form. He had shown his four-handed form, and then he again went back to his beautiful form of Krishna. And Bhima was Bhishma. Yeah, he got the darshan as four-handed form of the Lord. So many things. And also Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, and the Bhakti, the Panchama Purushartha. It's a inexhaustible book, Mahabharata, like Srimad Bhagavatam also. So here, that is the reason why Vyasadev was in a dilemma. Vyasadev was despondent, and that is also for the reason how one can attain transcendence. By this episode, it's not that just you read Vedas and you will understand everything. No. Or you may follow certain strict disciplinary vows and you will understand. No. Or without a spiritual master, with submission and service, without that, you will understand the business of human life. So that means it's a very, what do you call it, the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, they are like a complete books in themselves, but with the help of a enlightened spiritual master and following him, which includes following the rules and regulations, and also doing sadhana, and also rendering service, and continuing to be in the association of devotees. It is not like now I learned Krishna is God, and I'm not comfortable with the company of devotees. I can practice bhakti. What did Prabhupada say? Prabhupada said, I have created this ISKCON institution. Whoever is searching for God, they can all come. He has created an institution. And not only that, you will come to know about God, and also here you have facilities to practice the important limbs of devotional service, and you can serve the Lord under guidance in the association of devotees, and over time. It may take, it's not that there is a time bound if you practice bhakti, because Katavanga, you will immediately, in a moment's time. And we know how yogis have fallen, and how it has taken a lot of time going into several births. So you should have patience, you should have determination, you should have confidence. So if this confidence, determination, patience have to come, we watch our seniors, you can call them senior devotees or advanced yogis, because devotees don't look like yogis. The word yogi has a different little understanding in the society. But devotees are the true yogis. Like while explaining the different chapters of Bhagavad Gita, we don't say that these are all horizontal. That means either you can select karma yoga, or you can select jnana yoga, or dhyana yoga, or bhakti yoga. People try to take Bhagavad Gita and talk like that. I had a big program in Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra is known for Gita Jayanti. Gita Jayanti, it's a state level festival. That means the government, they have passed a resolution, because Bhagavad Gita is an important book, and Kurukshetra, it's a holy place, and not only for tourist reasons, this Bhagavad Gita has to be promoted, and Kurukshetra will be promoted. So they have big program. The governor will come, the chief minister will come, and again, because it is not celebrating Gita Jayanti is great, but it is not that the state government will celebrate, or together all Hindu organizations celebrate. There will not be any conclusion. because all organizations say different things. So if you want to do anything with Vedas, God, or Bhagavad Gita, there is a process. And if you don't understand or bypass that process, it's all waste of time, isn't it? Crores are spent and many events are organized, but what is the result? Not one devotee who says Krishna is God. You don't find. I stayed 20 years because they consider ISKCON as one of the religious, not necessarily spiritual, one of the religious organizations. So it is not under the auspices of ISKCON, but whatever they decide, ISKCON has to participate, like that. So not inspiring, because the result is not there. Anyway, we explore off the official program, talk to people, pass out the books of Srila Prabhupada. So the point I am trying to say is, in the big program, the governor was there, the chief minister was there, and heads of organizations, like I was the temple president at that time in Kurukshetra. So I was also invited on this. And you have to tolerate there all the hodgepodge that goes on. And everybody will, after this. And you will be really, you will laugh or upset if I tell you this, you will see for yourself, is after many years of stay in Kurukshetra, we were working on trying to get land, which Prabhupada wanted in Kurukshetra. There were a lot of efforts, meeting government officials and all that. And finally, the land was there. After such a long wait, we got the land. And there was a groundbreaking ceremony. So almost like 15 ISKCON sannyasis, can you believe? Jayadvaita Swami, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, and Radhanath Swami, many sannyasis from Mayapur, and they all came. That means you don't find, except in GBC meetings, so many sannyasis gather in one place for any occasion, So it was there. So for the devotees, it's such an enlivening. But by protocol, the CM will speak, the governor will speak, the CM will speak, and then it's an ISKCON event program. And not all sannyasis can speak, but few sannyasis will speak, time limit. So, the very beginning, the governor was saying, oh, ISKCON is a very big organization, I know, but what it is doing to the public, what social service they are doing. So I am seeing so many big sannyasis here, and what are they doing? It's like devotees don't like here, no? We are all disciples of Prabhupada, disciples. And because these are all made to sit in the front row, our leaders. I was pointing to them, talking as though they are not doing the right thing, or they are not doing enough. I said, oh, why did you invite him? But no, because the government has given the land. By protocol, you have to invite them, they came. But just having Japamala, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, that is not That means he doesn't have an idea. It is not enough. You should go into the field and try to serve the poor people, sick people. You should serve the nation. And that means is seeing from a bodily concept. But the whole idea of Bhagavad Gita is how to get over the bodily concept. So completely, and all devotees, and then the newspapers were quoting all that, what they were saying, with a very small thing about our leaders saying. You have to accept that it was a flop. It was not a... No. So only devotees when they heard. So relevance to what I said, to what we are reading here, is that it is not a small thing to understand Vedas or to accept Krishna. What did Krishna say in Bhagavad? Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudevam sarvamiti sudarlabha. So, let's say, sometimes while preaching in India, Prabhupada said to preach in India is a thankless job because everybody tries to attack you, criticize you, and they just see you, can you believe, there is an MP who likes me in our area, and he donates every year some 6 lakhs to the temple, which is for a city like Nellore, it is a substantial thing. And he came to 1 or 2 of our Janmashtami festival, and stayed till midnight, 12 o'clock. And he patted on my shoulders and told me, in these days also, Swami, you have gathered so many people here to stay till midnight. So that's what it inspired him. And then he was donating every year. So I thought, he's taking interest. And I should educate him whenever I meet, and try to make him also a kind of a Vaishnava. So whenever I have the opportunity, 1 or 2 times in a year for Rath Yatra and for Janmashtami. He's a global contractor, very busy person, very big man. So, and we don't hesitate to preach, whether we are with the governor, other we are with the collector, respecting them. This is called preaching, respecting them. And you make certain comments, certain talk. We don't get into arguments. And then they may not like to, because they are belittled before so many people. Let him say what he wants, and you comment or you say gently. We don't find fault with them. No. It's called exchanging of views. Although they have to hear a Vaishnava without any comments. But things don't happen like that. No? Like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, in those days, he got the governor of Bengal to come, all foreigners, Britishers, but he made them to come. And I heard that they were served meat. Bhaktisiddhanta personally made that meat preparations are there because they are used to eat meat. So that means how far Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj was thinking, let them just be exposed. We don't try to insist on them because you are in our program. You should eat like this. They are not used to all these things. Even Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj went to the extent of telling his disciples, after his successful Gaudiya Math, preaching all over India, and he wanted to send his disciples like Bhakti Pradeep Maharaj, Bhan Maharaj, on a foreign trip. And then they went. And then the disciples, they had a complaint here. Now vegetarian food is available everywhere because of ISKCON preaching, ISKCON itself organizing some restaurants and all that. But during those days, during the times of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, almost all foreigners, they were eating meat. It is rare to find. Now in India also, it is rare to find people who are vegetarians. Don't think because we are all vegetarians, the whole India is vegetarian, not like that, right? Sometime back I had a WhatsApp India Bharat map, and the trend of eating habits among Indians, and he has given some colors. The green indicates vegetarian people, and the red indicates, and the shades, that means somewhat more people. Thick green is all people in the world. That means there's a lot of people who practice vegetarianism, and thick red is people, almost all of them. And then shades. There are areas where some people are this much percent. So it is interesting. And the shocking thing is that you don't find any thick green anywhere. That means so much has changed. And little pocket in Gujarat, maybe little, and then little shades. Otherwise, it's all painted red. The Bharat is all painted red. That means they said almost like 96% of people in India, they eat meat at the moment. So then, how is it possible that you can make them devotees? In India, this is the situation. So Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, he said, if you have to eat eggs, you eat eggs, because if vegetarian food is not available, because you are going as a agent of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, time, place. If you have to survive, you take it. Is it right? You survive and do it. It's not that you like to eat and things like that. So anyway, the point is that as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, he says, Manushyanam sahasreshu kasyid yatati siddhaye yatatamapi siddhanam kasyin ma vetitaha. Krishna himself is saying, this many births, and rarely you may find here and there. So we have taken up really a tough job. The point is that you are all very fortunate that you would come to accept this philosophy, and you are trying to practice this philosophy, and we all have a mental frame, and these are externals. Giving up tea, coffee, onion, garlic, that itself is a big thing for the public. But there's more to do to become a devotee. You call it gross anarthas, subtle anarthas, and like kama, krodha, lobha, mada, moha, matsarya. Somebody may not be eating meat, but we are all ridden with the subtle anarthas. Not easy. Let's say we are hammered, we are educated, and we make mistakes, and corrected, and then give opportunities. So the idea is that it's a hard task to make one person a devotee of Krishna. So whoever is coming, right? I heard Radhanath Maharaj telling, anyone who walks into an ISKCON temple, it's not an ordinary thing. Jagannath is the guest of Jagannath. Jagannath is personally. Because we go and invite, people don't come, they don't have time, and already their faith is rooted in something else, and not easy to get people to. But if somebody walks in, that means he is really our esteemed guest. And whatever he may be talking at that, it is said that first we have to, you should see you as a good person, putting all philosophies and these things aside. They should see that this devotee is a nice person. And then slowly he keeps coming, and then slowly it happens. So, as we are reading here, Vyasadev is taking the role of a person lost the clues because he was not feeling satisfied. And he has written all things, Vedas, Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, Puranas, and then even this Mahabharata. So Mahabharata is there, but again it also needs people discuss Mahabharata again without the association of devotees, and so many unlimited arguments and questions. Krishna did like this. Mahabharata, they read Mahabharata. Krishna did like this. And the Pandavas also have so many wives, and a woman has 5 husbands. So that means the Mahabharata itself is not also sinking, and Bhagavad Gita is also not sinking. And where to go? No? So, so Prabhupada's books, the Prabhupada's followers, and I remember Prabhupada saying, devotees are representatives of Krishna. Devotees are representatives of Guru Parampara. No? So, there is a great responsibility, not ordinary responsibility, but great responsibility. Not just doing kirtans or giving classes or running the temples. What is happening inside? A sloka was quoted from Bhagavatam about genuine devotional service. It says, anyone who practices genuine devotional service, the example is given of a hungry man. A hungry man is desperately searching for food, and when he gets a good meal, fresh, taste to his satisfaction, a fresh meal, taste to his satisfaction, and sumptuous quantity, if it's there, then you can imagine, because we all also become hungry, Today is Vyasadev, right? So, if he takes that meal, what will you think? Immediately, the tongue, he relishes the taste. As he continues to eat, he becomes full, and he begins to feel energetic. We fast on Ekadasi, you take lemon honey water, or you take some things, and you quickly you come back to your normal state. So the Bhagavatam says that like you eat, a hungry man eats food, and it gives him joy of eating, and he feels energetic and is satisfied. So similarly, if one practices Krishna consciousness properly, properly means like all the conditions mentioned here, that you have to practice vows, you have to satisfy the spiritual master, and all your doubts have to be clarified. So many doubts will come. Why we say association? It is not that you learn something and go away. In life, in practical life, while we are doing things like all these questions are put to Prabhupada, like mosquitoes are bothering you. So is it all right to kill mosquitoes or not? So question people discuss, and many other questions. In practical life, one gentleman came to me and asked, the bribe, the process of bribing has become a normal thing, but now I have become a devotee and I am somewhere in the hierarchy. The very big man is taking bribe and everybody is getting their share, and I am also in the chain. So what we have to do, because he doesn't like to take bribe. And if he doesn't take, that is also a problem, because this guy, and they try to incriminate him, they involve him, and all things happen in this world. Like doctors, they prescribe you have to take liver soup for your serious weakness, or you have to take this. So the question is, so during illness, can we take non-veg? It's a question. All things happen, like in the family dealings. So hundreds and thousands of questions. So we cannot be away from the association of devotees for many reasons. Or if you are by yourself, you have to listen to your mind. And we think our mind is genuine unless somebody pulls up our ears and tells you that is not, or somebody convinces you, showing this, that, and like that. So in life, to become what do you call that? Our devotional service, we become a sadhaka, sadhana bhakti, many stages, and until we become a raga bhakta, ragatmika bhakta, raganuga bhakta, there is always a chance for falling down. Is that right? So the point is that every line here can be taken up, and we can go on discussing, and then nicely we become more sincere, more determined, and wait, be patient, and that way, how many disciples Prabhupada has initiated, and they all got the association of a person none other than Prabhupada, is that right? And they were trained, they were educated, and they were engaged directly under the supervision. That means if you cannot become a devotee, then that means there is no hope. Then Prabhupada is there. And lastly, I will stop the class here. Devotees have become sincere. Several of them out of those 5,000 devotees Prabhupada initiated. And so while Prabhupada was leaving the body, they were asking, now you are there. Whenever we are in, we don't know what to decide. Even death occasion, when a person dies, when a person dies, what procedure we have to follow? People from different backgrounds, they do different rituals, things. But what is the right thing? So like that. So they asked Prabhupada, and you are there, and you are cutting through our nescience, our confusions, and you are bringing us to the essence. When the same scriptures are saying, you have to do Shraddha, you have to do this, you have to, all the procedures, they are all in there. No? So, and Prabhupada said that you chant 16 rounds, which I have given as the essence of devotional service, and you read my books when I'm not there. Everything that is needed to become free from the cycle of birth and death. You don't need to go to some Sanskrit scholar or some other organization because there is no scholar in ISKCON. There is no Sanskrit Pandit in ISKCON. Maybe some other organization may help us to understand things. No, I have no doubts because Prabhupada drills, Prabhupada hammers. What is the essence of spiritual life? And people are practicing that kind of bhakti. They are also fixed up, seated strongly. And they may not be scholars to say that every devotee is not a scholar like me, And still, because you are reading Prabhupada books and you are carefully trying to do sadhana, like when you are chanting, try to chant, chant, just do chanting, not while driving or not while talking or not this or that. Try to focus. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, because this world is a fearsome place, this world is a terrible place, this world is a miserable place, this is a very frustrating, horrible place, and our mind and body are also troubling us. So not easy to make it, But don't leave the boat of ISKCON and don't leave the captains of ISKCON and be a studious devotee, be a conscientious, sincere devotee. And it's tough. Chanting Hare Krishna is easy. To become a devotee is tough. But we have a process which will not fail. We have a process anywhere, everywhere. You can be yogi, sitting in the car, while in the house, in your office, whenever you have time. You can go back to improve your Krishna consciousness. And preach according to time and place. That is an expert devotee. He doesn't get into controversies. Recently, I'll close with this. Recently, there's a big, that Amoghleela Prabhu, video, that a big back and forth, this and that. So, if you can be a little more careful, humble, gentle. We don't want to prove that anybody is wrong, but we want to make our point. Yeah, it comes. Krishna gives you the intelligence. That's why it is said. It takes a little intelligence to be a preacher. That's why we don't send out people. Everybody go out and preach. First you train them up and then see the behavior, see the understanding, and see his commitment, how he is doing. And then so there will be less controversies and less accidents. So there's a wonderful slokas here. Each line of Prabhupada we can take them and speak like that. Thank you. Hare Krishna. It's already 9:15. So it is.
Anybody has a question?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, you told how the Vedic path is very difficult to follow and everything. But there was in the second sloka Vyasadev was feeling incomplete. So you explained how the Mahabharata and everything is so relevant. But that incomplete thing, how he was feeling incomplete.
You are not really feeling incomplete. Whatever we may do in our life, but without coming to the proper process, like there are big Maulanas, there are big bishops, and there are big in Hindu tradition also, there are big Mahamandales or Pitadipatis. But everybody has to feel incomplete until they actually come to this process which is given by Prabhupada. No matter they may be bigger scholars than Prabhupada, they may be having many followers and very popular. This guy cannot be happy because he has not come to the conclusion.
Some stories how I used to be in Kurukshetra doing Madhukari and military, and there's no place.
When you don't have money, what will you do? If I am not a fundraiser, I have to find some gurudwara and take some roti and dal without onion and like that. Yes, somehow you got into the field. I was sent to Kurukshetra to do something there. Like I told you, we cannot run away. Their arrangement is not there. So Krishna will give you intelligence. Until things happen, you go on like that. So soon it happened. I was eating in Gurudwara and I was lying down with all the beggars in that place called Brahma Sarovar. The cubicles are there. People can rest. And slowly money started coming and rented a small place and went for a bigger house. And then somebody donated. All things happened gradually. So that means if you are sent to a place, you should not expect. Actually, my Guru Maharaj told me, while sending me to Kurukshetra, he told me, don't ask me for money. Don't think there's a lot of money in ISKCON because they are building big temples and money is there. But you should know how to preach, how to survive and do something. Right? Now you are all having a facility already, but people who are already some groundwork is done, so we are getting money. But just imagine you go to a completely a new place, because preaching was going on in Bangalore almost from Prabhupada's time. And Jayapatak Maharaj has come here so many times, so many leaders come, and so many followers. And you just say that we want to build this temple. So everybody is, what can I do for ISKCON? What can I do for ISKCON? In your own way, is that right? But when you go all together a new place where they don't know about ISKCON, then it's a struggle. So he told me clearly, you go to Kurukshetra, you try to do something. Don't ask me, because New Vrindavan that time is a very flourishing, rich place. I was thinking Maharaj will give me some money and I can rent place. And so he did not rent a place. Now because ISKCON has a reputation, you cannot open a center like that. It looks awkward. Oh, ISKCON is such a big order, they are having such a shabby place. It needs a little intelligence how to prepare. Like we encourage. But that you do after you supervise the guy. If I give him money, he will not misuse it. I have some to the people ask me, Maharaj, how you are surviving? You only. But I checked them. I have one or two assistants. They don't spend one paisa here and there. They don't spend on their own, on themselves. Because they have seen from me that Maharaj, we have not seen Maharaj taking juice from outside shop. He eats only whatever is available in the temple. So they are also, we don't want to eat. It's not bad that you take juice outside because it is permitted. But when in the temple I am eating, why should I waste Krishna's money? Like you are giving me so many things. Why should I think of getting some coconut water from it? Why should I? It's okay. Like that. So the point is, the answer to your question is that if you are really committed to Prabhupada and to this philosophy, Krishna will give you intelligence how to manage yourself. I can give one more example. Like the family that donated the land in Kurukshetra, they're very egoistic people. हिंदी में बोलते हैं ये आधा शहर का मालिक है. Some very rich people, right? हिंदी में बोलते हैं ये आधा शहर का मालिक है. That means in Kurukshetra they are very well-to-do people. And somehow by Krishna's arrangement, I ran into them, and over time they took interest in me, and they started entertaining me, and I was handling them. Then I handed over the management to someone else, and I have to introduce people. So I brought the other manager, and there are people helping me here. They have given their land and things. Because now I will not be anymore like milking money or going around for these things. I'm handing over the management there. I will only be a resident sannyasi. Somebody invites me, go there, do program. So then he came out and asked me, Maharaj, you are in Kurukshetra from 1982 to 94, and he joined when it was 2000. That means from 89 to, sorry, I joined in ISKCON in 82 and I moved to Kurukshetra in 89. And then 2000, I was running the show. And then 2000, I handed over. I don't want to be president of ISKCON Kurukshetra. So I had to introduce people who are some doctors or some business people who are taking interest. And then he came out and asked me, Maharaj, from 89 to 2000, why they are not chanting 16 rounds? Why they are not chanting 16 rounds, and why they are not coming to the temple often? Why they are not donating in a big way? Is it a force or what? They are not our debtors that they have to donate. It's how you handle them and how you slowly take money from them, is that right? So I just told, I am living with you, and you see me, if I'm a devotee or not, then whatever my intelligence, I'm handling it. Whatever my intelligence, I'm handling. You just check out whether this Sukdeva Swami is a devotee or not. If I'm a devotee, Krishna is giving me some intelligence. Is that the way you preach, I don't preach the same way. All of us. Is that right? So, like that. So the point is that if you are sincere, give time. It takes a little time. Prabhupada preached for 16 years in India. Hardly anyone wanted to be initiated. And for 2 years, Prabhupada struggled in America. Still nothing was happening. And then Krishna's attention. And then it was like happening everywhere, happening. And within the short time of 8 years or like that, all things happening. So patience. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. May I also thank His Holiness Sukdeva Swami Maharaj for giving so much enlightenment on despondency of Vyasadev and his own personal experiences in Kurukshetra and the way Maharaj lived exemplary life in Kurukshetra. So we thank Maharaj one time chanting Hare Krishna Nama mantra.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We request Maharaj to repeatedly keep blessing us by Maharaj visit to Shadipuram. And Maharaj is giving 11:30 a.m.
It
class.
is reciprocal.
Sunday
When I invite you, you should also come.
The prasadam is come for all.